Enemies in Mario Wonder have so much potential, but they're way too easy. So today, Adam Zero, HorseWithNoName, and I upgraded enemies with brand new abilities, ranging from simple to completely insane. And to make things harder, every upgraded enemy comes with its own unique challenge. Peach enters the territory of the Blitz Bull Rushes. Regular Bull Rushes gallop toward Peach and bonk into walls, but the upgraded enemies hit way harder. The Blitz Bull Rush takes more time to charge, but then explodes forward with great speed. To clear the first trial, Peach must parry 6 Blitz Bull Rushes mid-charge using her elephant trunk. Too early, she gets hit. Too late, she gets hit. She baits the first charge, swings, and slam! The Blitz Bull Rush gets stunned, and Peach finishes it off with a few nose slaps. Peach lines up the next attack, and the beast charges forward. Peach parries too early and misses! She loses her power-up and must reset. Peach lines up again, but this time she nails the parry. Now she's locked in, but the further she goes, the faster the enemies get. One charges sooner than expected, but she manages to barely hit the attack in time. Bait and wait. Lure, then skewer. 5 Blitz Bull Rushes parried, 1 to go. She hesitates for a moment, but then commits. With a trunk of steel, she parries and defeats the 6th Bull Rush. After completing her objective, she grabs the flagpole in style to finish the course. But that was just the first trial. Unlock the final upgraded enemy gauntlet, they must beat every single one. Daisy enters the lair of the Cinder Cheeps. Normally, Cheep Cheeps are floppy fish you can beat without trying, but now they're way deadlier. Their bodies are covered in scorching scales. Flames circle them as a shield. Stomping isn't an option, so Daisy adapts. She needs to defeat 7 Cinder Cheeps, but has no idea how. She watches the leaping Smackrels jump from below and comes up with a plan. She lures one in, gets it to launch upward, and it misses. The Cinder Cheep drifts closer, and Daisy starts to feel the heat. She regroups before trying again. This time, she lures the Smackrel closer to the Cinder Cheep. She waits, it pops up, and the first upgraded enemy is defeated, but the danger remains. Each Cinder Cheep leaves flames behind. Now the level starts filling with hazards. Daisy swims forward carefully. As the course progresses, the Cinder Cheeps evolve. Flame shields get faster and the patterns change. One mistake and she's trapped. Daisy slows down, waits for the opening, and one more down. Then another. Final stretch, but there's less room and less time. She slips between 2 spinning fire shields, baits the final Smackrel, and she defeats Cinder Cheep number 7. She grabs the flagpole and clears the trial. 2 down. Blue Toad enters the world of the ambush Armads. Regular Armads are easy to see and roll toward Blue Toad when he gets too close. These upgraded Armads completely blend into the sand, are way smaller, and are really quick. Blue Toad will have to dodge 10 Armads in a row to complete his objective. At first, he struggles to avoid them. Buckenberry gets hit by ambush Armads that come out of nowhere. As he gains more experience, he learns to spot and dodge easier. Just when he starts to get comfortable, the ambush Armads evolve. They're even faster and harder to dodge. Blue Toad carefully moves ahead, squinting to see specks in the sand. He's able to jump over them or even duck under them to increase his dodge score. Blue Toad finds a spawner and racks up a few more dodges, but he has to move forward. He uses his elephant trunk to make quick work out of pokies, and then he comes up against the fastest spawner. If he misses now, he'll have to start all over. Blue Toad waits, focuses, and jumps to get the 10th dodge in a row. He clears the objective and finishes the course. 3rd trial complete. Mario enters the mansion of the Blackout Boos. Regular boos only move when you look away, but these do so much more. Blackout boos cast shadow magic that keeps moving toward Mario even when the boos stop. If Mario looks at the boo, it freezes. If he looks away, the magic disappears, but the boos approach. Now he has to focus no matter which direction he's facing. His challenge in this area is to beat the level without turning on any lights. So now everything's hidden. Walls, paths, and platforms. Not only that, he can't use the lights to defeat the boos like he normally would. At first, he barely makes it through. He turns to freeze the boo, then turns back to reset the magic. He squeezes past both obstacles and keeps pressing forward. The shadows get bigger and faster as he works to dodge all damage sources. One wrong turn and he gets hit. Mario predicts where the Blackout boos and magic are headed. He times every turn and slips between the shadow magic. In the final room, the magic is huge and moves way faster. He dodges it to scramble up an invisible staircase. He reaches the end, jumps, and grabs the flagpole to finish this trial. 4 down. Toadette enters a level overrun by Giga Goombas. Normal Goombas are the weakest enemy in the game, but Giga Goombas split 3 times when being attacked. Toadette must beat this level without touching the ground, so instead of avoiding the Giga Goombas, they become her greatest ally. She jumps from Goomba to Goomba, allowing them to split and create more targets. She alternates between Goombas and trees to regain footing and avoid the disgusting ground. At first, it works perfectly. More Goombas means more platforms. She chains stomps together to bounce across smaller and smaller Goombas to climb into a safe spot. If she messes up her timing at all, the Giga Goombas could disappear off screen and she gets stuck surrounded by grass of doom. In areas with no enemies, she has to get creative to keep the objective alive. Luckily, she finds a swarm of Giga Goombas and uses them as trampolines. These giant fungi can even walk across 2-tile pits with no problem. When she approaches the end, she notices a peculiar chest. Curious, she picks it up and throws it to release a hungry Mama before grabbing the flagpole to complete this trial. 5 down. Our heroes are getting closer, but the upgraded enemies are only going to get stronger. Luigi enters the lair of the chaotic Condarts. Regular Condarts move in a straight line and get stuck, but these upgraded enemies are way stronger. Instead, once they notice Luigi, they launch right toward him until they're destroyed. His goal is to trick 5 pairs of Chaos Condarts to collide with each other and explode. To set this up, he tries to get multiple Condarts to chase him at once. He looks for the perfect moment to get them to bump into each other and boom! The first few sets were simple, but the further Luigi goes, the faster the chaotic Condarts fly. When Condarts start near each other, it's easy to get them to collide, but now Luigi needs to pull them from different areas and force them to crash. Luigi first tries a strategy of being slow and careful. But when that doesn't work, he rushes through a swarm of chaotic Condarts. He just needs one more collision. Luigi makes a break for it and doesn't look back. Out of the entire group, 2 Condarts slam into each other. He rushes to the end, and with one final jump, he finishes this trial. 6 down. Mario enters a valley of upgraded Snoodles. Regular Snoodles bounce Mario around, but these ones bring the pain. If Mario tries to jump on these sharp Snoodles, he takes damage. He equips a new power-up called the Pop Shot. With this, Mario can launch bullets straight upward to hit enemies above him. He tests it out and he can easily defeat the sharp Snoodles with a single hit if they jump above him. Mario's objective is to beat 10 Snoodles mid-jump within 10 seconds. This seems impossible, but he can't let his friends down and must find a way. At first, it's tricky to get underneath them without them landing on his head, but he starts to find ways to strike when they're at their highest point. As he moves through the level, the sharp Snoodles evolve. Their jumps become harder to predict and they jump even higher. Mario takes his time to analyze their movement before striking. Even though he's able to defeat them, he's nowhere near clearing the time objective. He finds a ramp section that looks promising, but the ramps alter the movement and jumps of the sharp Snoodles, and Mario struggles to defeat them quickly. Out of ideas, Mario activates the Wonder Flower and the whole world slows down around him. He encounters giant hordes of Snoodles all bumping each other and knows this is his moment. He throws bullets like crazy to try to get a bunch in a row. He runs underneath, moving and throwing bullets as fast as he can. The final bullet connects and he satisfies the objective. He devours the Wonder Seed and grabs the top of the flagpole for victory. 7 down. Peach enters a grassy field filled with surging skedaddlers. Normally, skedaddlers keep their distance and just run away, but these don't. They stay closer and shoot faster. Peach can't hurt a single one to complete this trial. Luckily, the enemies at the start still keep a good distance. She can scare it out of her way, but she grabs a Wonder Bud and... oops, maybe this is going to be harder than she thought. Peach starts to get the hang of things and progresses through the course. She even grabs a juicy big coin without doing any damage. Now things actually get tricky. The enemies are more aggressive. 2 surging skedaddlers both shoot fast projectiles at her. She pushes a pipe to try to group them together. Her plan works, and now she can jump across on the projectiles to safety. Now Peach deals with projectiles coming from both directions. After scaring the first one off screen, she can easily move forward. The Wonder Flower appears, and she carefully grabs it without hurting the skedaddler. The effect makes the entire ground of the level slippery, making it even harder to avoid touching the skedaddlers. The enemies are now elite level. Peach gets right next to them without the surging skedaddlers running away. She somehow gobbles up the Wonder Seed without hitting the skedaddler. Now all that's left is to grab the flagpole. Peach forces the last skedaddler into a hypnotizing dance as she stutters towards the end. Then she just climbs the cheese blocks and grabs the flagpole for the finish. 8 down. These next ones are going to be rough. Blue Toad enters a swamp filled with shrapnel spikes. Usually spike enemies throw a pointy ball that rolls on the ground, but these shrapnel spikes have explosive orbs. The new spike ball is surrounded with needle traps that burst out in all directions when the center detonates. Blue Toad needs to defeat 5 enemies with a single explosion. Each shrapnel spike shoots 1 explosive shot, so Blue Toad has to make every move count. He lines one up, and boom! It hits himself. He'll have to adapt to stay safe and make progress on his objective. He continues on and baits the next explosion. This time, the explosion destroys the shrapnel spike through it, and Blue Mario stays safe. It's good progress, but not enough to finish his goal. As Buckenberry progresses through the course, the explosions get tougher to predict. Now even more needle traps explode out and send him flying into a pit. Blue Toad even gets caught between 2 at once for an instant reset. But just when he's about to give up hope, Blue Toad sees the perfect spot. Piranha plants are lined up all around a shrapnel spike, and he quickly takes this opportunity. Blue Toad gets the shrapnel spike to toss the ticking time bomb, and suddenly it bursts and causes a chain reaction, destroying more than enough enemies in a row. He rushes to the end, but the upgraded spikes have one more surprise in store. As revenge, they drop a ginormous pointy orb on top of him, but he's able to power through and finish the course. I'm down. Daisy appears in a knockout arena that feels a bit off. Each layer of this challenge is filled with upgraded hammer bros called Havoc Bros. Normal hammer bros throw hammers, obviously, but the Havoc Bros create and throw more enemies. Daisy starts in the first room where the Havoc Bros are throwing Goombas. Because of her objective, she can't deal any damage for the first 15 seconds on the clock. She anxiously waits and watches Havoc Bros fill the screen with Goombas. Daisy has to figure out how to carefully defeat them all without taking too much damage. Luckily, Goombas are pretty easy to defeat, so she's able to smash through them all and get a bunch of one-ups in the process. She smacks all the Goombas and Havoc Bros in the room and moves forward. Hopefully the rest of the rooms are just as easy. When she gets to the next one, the Havoc Bros aren't throwing Goombas anymore. Now they throw Koopa Troopas everywhere. She has to wait 15 seconds again as Koopas pile up in this tiny area. She starts taking damage and needs a plan to clear the room without putting herself in danger. She grabs a shell, jumps up, and tosses it across the top of the arena. The shell plows through rows of enemies and clears a path for Daisy. She uses the open space to attack the last of the Havoc Bros and finish the second room. The last room makes the first two look like a joke. The elite version of the Havoc Bros throw unlimited Hammer Bros. Because she has to wait before attacking, the entire arena gets flooded with Hammer Bros and flying hammers. She has no idea how to fight them. At first, it seems impossible. The openings between hammer throws aren't long enough to slip through. But then, she tries something. Daisy in elephant form slams her trunk into the flying hammers and is actually able to send them back. She uses this power to give the Hammer Bros a taste of their own medicine. She takes her time to carefully defeat the first group and then moves forward to the next. Daisy uses the trees in the arena to stay protected on higher ground and waits for an opening to attack. She ground pounds to clear as many bros as possible, but loses her elephant power-up in the process. She's so close now, she has to power through. Daisy goes in for the final strike, defeats the last group of Havoc Bros, and completes this insane trial. 10 down. Toadette enters the domain of the Pyro Piranha plants. Regular watermelon piranhas spit seeds that knock Toadette back, but the Pyro Piranhas shoot out a line of flaming seeds. Toadette's objective is to get close enough to smell each Pyro Piranha. At first, it's not too bad. She uses the elephant power-up, drops down next to the spicy piranha, and bonks it with her thick trunk. As she moves through the level, more Pyro Piranhas start to appear. Some are upgraded even further and have better aim. Toadette takes a risky jump to fall down onto a cloud next to a piranha plant and almost falls off in the process. She moves forward and finds a Lakitu, which gives her an idea. She steals the Lakitu cloud, hoping it will get her closer to the Pyro Piranhas. She's able to drop in next to the piranhas and use her elephant trunk to clear a path. But one mistake, and she has no chance to recover. Toadette tries other strategies like using a bubble flower, but the bubbles only remove one flaming seed at a time. It works well on the Pyro Piranhas themselves, but it doesn't let her get close enough to complete her objective. She becomes burnt and crispy as she scrambles to move next to each Pyro Piranha. She has no power-up now, and any single hit can defeat her. She's so close to the end that she presses on and sees the last one. She goes underneath it and jumps upward in a desperate attempt to finish the task. Luckily, a hidden block appears and defeats the final Pyro Piranha. Toadette clears the objective and finishes the course. 11 down. Luigi enters the world of bumper bloops. Regular bloops just push you back a little bit, creating a minor inconvenience, but the bumper bloops launch him way back. If he doesn't run against the knockback fast enough, he can get sent all the way back to the start. His challenge is to use the upgraded knockback to get bounced into 10 bonuses. It can be coins, power-ups, or even the flagpole. At first, it seems easy. He uses the bumper bloops to bounce him into a Wonder Bud and gets them to launch him straight into a checkpoint, 2 bonuses down. Then he lines up the next one, gets hit again, straight into an enemy. He grabs the Wonder Flower, hoping he'll have better luck. He tries to get bumped into a star, but he completely misses. He's able to get the bumper bloops to send him into a few purple coin shards, but it isn't enough. Back in the overworld, he tries to bounce into a big purple coin, but gets caught under a Goombrat. But then, he triggers something that will change everything. Luigi gets bounced into a Wonder Bud that drops 5 delicious coin snacks. He tactfully uses the bumper bloops to slide him into all 5. With that, he completes his objective. Luigi boings off a bumper bloop to launch into the flag and finish the trial. 12 down. Yellow Toad enters the arena of the Savage Shovas. These upgraded enemies have way more health and move faster than regular Shovas do. Yellow Toad needs to get pushed by each Shova at least once throughout the level. Some areas are easy, while others are a nightmare. As he progresses through the course, the Shovas get more aggressive. Some savage Shovas are so fast that they push him 3 times before Yellow Toad can react. Ground pounding is no use here either, as it doesn't affect the Shovas. If he wants to defeat them, he'll have to bounce on each one more than 10 times. Yellow Toad finds a good rhythm as he approaches the end and bounces on the thick skull of the last savage Shova. He finally reaches the flagpole and clears the trial. 13 down, but the last trial will be the hardest by far. Peach enters the volcano of blazing beetles. Peach can jump on normal buzzy beetles, but these upgraded blazing beetles have a burning protective shell. Peach must find a way to cool them down before jumping on them, or her feet will burn. To make things worse, when blazing beetles are defeated, they launch a firework upward that's deadly for anything caught in the blast. Peach's objective is to cool down and bonk 8 blazing beetles. The first few aren't so bad, as she spits out water with her elephant trunk to cool them and jumps on them to defeat them. Dodging the firework explosion seems simple enough. Peach uses water pots and gets lucky to cool and defeat a few of them in a single throw. As she goes through the level, the lava aura of the blazing beetles gets bigger. If Peach gets too close, she can take damage even without touching the beetle itself. Now things get serious. If she loses her elephant power-up, she has no choice but to start over. She has to be super careful not to take damage through the level. Fire spikes team up with the upgraded buzzies, dropping on Peach's head and forcing her to keep moving. Peach keeps cooling blazing beetles and jumps off the wacky roller coaster to stomp their heads. Dodging the firework gets even tougher as she scrambles to get back on the skull coaster and avoid lava above and below. She just needs 2 more now, but chaos fills the course. She's somehow able to bonk another and just needs the last one. She lines up a final attack, cools the blazing beetle, and bonks it. She survives the roller coaster to grab the flagpole and complete this final trial. All 14 trials are complete, and the final ultimate gauntlet unlocks. Mario promises to finish the job. Mario enters the Upgraded Enemy Showdown. Not only does every evolved enemy appear in this challenge, but there's a new upgraded enemy here as well. Regular swirly pods take 1 hit and drop their shell, but these upgraded steel swirly pods have shells glued on tight. Instead of 1 hit, they take multiple hits to defeat, and they cover the level with magic slime that builds up to affect Mario. The longer Mario takes in this level, the slower his movement becomes. If he can't complete it fast enough, the upgraded enemies will take over the Flower Kingdom for good. As he battles the first set of steel swirly pods, a bumper blue flies by and knocks one into the poison. These enemies are willing to sacrifice each other just to defeat Mario. He grabs a power-up, but instantly another blue launches a snail into his face. This level's gonna be way trickier than he expected. Mario bounces across steel swirly pods when he's greeted with spicy fire breath from a pyro piranha. He has no way to defeat this enemy, but since it has no legs, he can outrun it. Mario encounters 2 savage Shovas on either side of a pipe. He gets pushed back so hard that he ends up flying up into a snail and taking damage. Even with no power-ups, Mario is determined. He gets back in the pit with the savage Shova and bounces on his head for what feels like forever, until he finally defeats it. Then he uses his intimidation tactics to scare the other Shova away and get the pipe into position. Chaotic Condarts hover above the only way forward. He has to move carefully or fall into the poison. He manages to jump up and bonk each one swiftly without taking damage, but a surprise is waiting for him. He goes for the checkpoint, but doesn't see the ambush Armad waiting for him. He takes damage and defeats it. Mario grabs a water pot and chucks it to cool down a blazing beetle. He stomps it easily and dodges the firework explosion. He can tell the world around him is speeding up, while he's getting slowed down from the swirly pod magic slime. The next set of pipes is guarded by sharp snoodles. Mario tries to sneak underneath them, but the pipes begin to sink into the poison and he panics. He barely slips through and focuses on the chaos with a Havoc Bro throwing Goombas combined with Giga Goombas. Because he's distracted, he doesn't even notice a Blitz Bull Rush preparing to charge until it's too late. Mario resets and gets one last chance to make it. This time, he's ready. He baits the charge and lets the Blitz Bull Rush clear out the most dangerous enemies. Now a horde of Goombas covers the ground, and he bounces on them to get through. A Cinder Cheat blocks the way. Mario boings through the fire shield as his only option. He has no power-ups now, any damage, and he loses the entire challenge. Mario feels like the end is near, but the Swirly Pod slime makes him painfully slow. He gets to the final area, but it feels like he hasn't overcome every enemy yet. The Shrapnel Spike and the Blackout Boo work together to protect the flagpole and keep Mario from escaping. Mario lures the Blackout Boo away and runs fast past that Shrapnel Spike. Who's behind all of this? Just then, a mischievous Mama appears. He's been the one upgrading all the enemies just to mess with Mario and friends. After devouring the flagpole, mischievous Mama is done playing games and rewards Mario with a royal seed. Mario's finally conquered the Upgraded Enemy Gauntlet and restores peace to the Flower Kingdom. To see how we turned enemies into bosses, click on the video on screen now, or to see how these upgrades were made over on Adam Zero's channel, click on this video. I'm Arrowstotle, and thanks for watching.